Alright guys, so welcome to Hot Topics Pearlridge. Lots of great clothes, great place for the emo, the grunge, the anime fans. They have a good Harley selection of pots. Unfortunately,
Mickey Mouse.
they didn't have anything this day that stood out.
You got that thing, but
Anything that I really needed. They still had some Harley Quinn, some Loki, Into the Spider-Verse, some Trigun, still no Chase, Indiana Jones, some Batman. Not a bad selection.
oh, the documentary.
Well, I still gotta approve your
We also stopped by Hawaii Collectors, HI Collectors, the Chaos.
it's about it, you approved it. Okay, now we gotta get mocked up.
Lots of great
Tells them design.
pots, some great Hot Wheels.
We want something that's different from what everyone else sees.
Batman, the animated.
Makes sense.
So
Although I don't
it's the mock-up.
want
It's
that
all white.
Batman.
So it's like white with red design, right? It's a bullsuit. Doesn't. You know what? Why is it there? Because the league finds you if you have more
Venomized
color than
Wolverine.
a certain amount. Like 50% gotta be
Oh,
white,
it's
more
cool.
than 50%.
Dexter and Dee Dee,
That is weird.
as well as
So tell
Fantasia,
them,
Mickey Mouse.
put more
Some
red on.
incredible Godzilla comics.
Put more red in your shoe, and you get fined $5,000 every game that you use it.
That way, not
All
only is
types
he
of
standing
cars.
out because of his
And Hot
face,
Wheels, as
he's standing
usual.
out because of
More classic comics.
what? Oh,
HI collectors or Hawaii collectors, whatever you want to call it, they have a little of everything, which is pretty damn awesome. Especially if you're looking for everything. We also hit up Book Off Pearlridge. Still got certain things in the window. A few new things as well. Still lots of Gundam models. Several Batman figures, bridge to Harry Potter. Some He-Man and Masters of the Universe figures. There's some NECA Turtles. Turtles versus Cobra Kai. Deathstorm. lots of Pokemon, some MODOK, DC and Marvel. I will say, thankfully, I'm not collecting Marvel or DC yet. Some Power Rangers. I will say I kind of want to collect some Power Rangers. At least the original team.
Got it? Got it? I'll just open your car.
No, the original American team. Part of me wants to get something Kamen Rider and Kikaida just to have before you can't get them anymore. Def Jam, Fight for New York, GameCube. Look at these prices. It's insane. So yeah, if best thing about Book Off, if there's no pops you want, there's always something. Either books or video games. There's a couple old school figures that I'm starting to think maybe I should pick up. So the weird thing is, we actually found a few pops that was at the downtown store. So if you ever had the question, yes, they do, I guess, move pops around if they don't sell after a few. After a few months, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
They'll bring pops from this store to there and from that store to here.
I don't know.
But of course, all the good stuff always sells pretty fast.
But I didn't look, so I don't know if I have it. But whatever, you can take it. Because I might get that Mystique too. I like this movie. Should we have that side?
What?
This side.
Mm.
It's gotta be here. I'm gonna get so good. Let me see what it's gotta be. I'm not too rushed to get this.
I think that Babu might be life size.
It'll probably disappear in a while. I think Arden has that one, yeah?
The what?
The black suit.
So it seems I'm always finding Star Wars figures that I want at the Pearlridge Book Off.
This mirror is the same one from the other book.
So there is only one more figure I want.
This wasn't there last time. When we went to that.
Or they probably just moved it.
As far as
this
Star
way
Wars
to see
go.
if it Could sell.
that's actually out, and that's, well, two figures. I still need Palpatine, and I want Malak. And then, of course, if they ever create Malgus, Bane, possibly Talon.
There it is.
With all these
The one I want
cartoon comic accurate Archies, I need a Josie
Here?
from Josie and the Pussycats. Come on, Funko. Richard Rich would be pretty awesome too. I think that's one of the greatest things about the toy hunt is you never know what you find. Sometimes if you're lucky you can find stuff you never even realized you were looking for. And if you're even more lucky, you can find stuff that you were looking for.
How would you differ?
So Pearlridge this last weekend had their, I guess, collector toy expo
That's always the
on
big
the
question.
Sears side.
How would you differ?
Yeah, so how would you differ?
They had an alright turnout of vendors.
I can tell you is,
Holy crap.
They had some pretty cool toys.
when you go to these meetings, here,
Lots of Hot Wheels,
I'll make you a deal.
loose, old G.I. Joe.
No, if you go to these meetings,
Definitely some
whatever
pops.
is correct,
They had some old school
please
games.
consider giving us a chance to pitch.
Kinda was thinking about it.
I'm just gonna say. So he's like, Congress is gonna tell you something like, you know, he's a great player and he can be in the list.
Unfortunately, it did seem like it was
And all these
there was less people at this expo
so then you,
than
so what you should ask
the last expo that they had on this side.
okay. 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 So what about Adidas? Adidas. What do you mean he's running?
Lots of comics, lots of cards.
Hands in the
I think that was the biggest thing. Was there was a lot of vendors with comics and cards.
like, really? Okay.
Of course, this isn't a big event. That's coming within a couple of weeks, which will be on both sides of the mall.
They're going to tell you your son is special, which they're not wrong. But
As you can see, cards, 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 comics, comics, comics.
I see something only you see. She goes, what do you mean only I see? I see that your son is going to change the world.
So at the big event, HI Hawaii Collectors usually brings a little bit more stuff and has
picture, and I know you see that.
from their main
We want
store
to be there
here.
ground up.
Retro Max is usually
We
here.
see that, and we want.
This was cool. The original Power Ranger toys plus
She smiles like,
the original import Tiger Zord. More cards.
like all I could do.
More Hot Wheels. A few more pops. Have to thank the vendors for showing up. At least the ones who did. But usually the rest of the way is full of vendors as well. So you kind of kind of see that a lot of people, I guess, were still tired from the Ala Moana Toy Expo and is getting ready for the big expo within a couple of weeks. So not a lot of them showed up for this one. Honestly, I've never seen a Maui Funko. This was great though. Some wrestling action figures, both WWE and AEW. G.I. Joe Classifieds. More Hot Wheels, the Batmobile. Some Thundercats, X-Men, Star Wars. Didn't see any of the Black Series that I want. Amazing show though. So, welcome to Book Off Downtown. Still all the great pops. All the great anime figures.
So yeah, like you see that one had a missing game. Missing a disc, so we can't take it as a yeah, I have some missing disc inside, so I can't. Yeah.
Some great Star Wars stuff. Of course, more mottos. I think the Downtown Book Off actually has more games than the Pearlridge one. But the Pearlridge one has more Nintendo, Super Nintendo games. The American version, at least. Retros. But Downtown has the Atari games. Downtown does have some great expensive retro games, but nothing like the Pearlridge one. See that Kikaido figure? That's definitely something I'm kind of looking at. It seems like they keep getting, or this case keeps getting bigger because they need the new case. Well, they have 3 cases now, which is pretty insane. Here's case number 2.
They probably were like, as a group, they had their own group.
They seem to have sold a lot of pops. It seemed a little bit more empty than it was last
Never
week,
seen the Power Rangers before.
which is great for them.
What?
A lot of the same old pops with a very select number of new pops. Or they got in a whole bunch of pops and they sold a whole bunch of pops. I'm not sure what happened. Still the Care Bear,
You know what? Art has that Mary Jane. We saw it last time. So.
Evil Queen.
Well, he doesn't.
They had 2 of the same
Richard, stop talking to your friend and go to art.
Captain Hook.
She is, right?
It seems that way.
So it's not like,
Dr. Philosopher? But no,
she's like, okay. And you
new Ursula.
answer them.
Definitely weird. Seems like everybody's just returning or selling certain Disney. Either that or you guys didn't find a lot of the Disney characters.
I mean, I'm getting it, but.
There's definitely things I definitely would. There's always things I want, which is the unfortunately thing.
Oh, that's Pearlridge.
Things you spend money on,
Trying to sell it.
especially the expensive
That's why they put it there.
stuff this in the cases.
Those, these two. This wasn't there yet.
It was there.
At art?
There's the new Maleficent. They had one of the older
From the
Maleficents.
art, yeah. No,
I don't see a lot of Jafars, which is crazy.
this character never appeared in the new one.
Nope. That was the old bad guy.
He's the whitish, right?
He's-
I'm sure the
Look at the 30th anniversary.
genie is something very expensive. Robin Williams genie.
Oh, it came out in episode.
Mm.
Came out in 2011.